Hey, welcome back from the holidays. I sure missed you guys. I hope you missed me too. Welcome to the Game Plan Tuesday edition. Yesterday was a holiday, so we couldn't make it to the studio, but great things happened. My name is Godfred Akoto Boafo, and once again, thank you for staying tuned to our live broadcast every evening. I know everybody's tired end of the working day, but this is the best time to discuss sports. Okay, so what's on the agenda today? Obviously, Kumasi Asante Kotoko versus Accra Suffolk for the Ghana at 61st leg game. That one we have to talk about. We'll talk about Sulley Muntari. Everybody has heard the story about the racist incident that happened. Pescara versus Cagliari. We will definitely be talking about that one as well. And then I have a pet beef. The national under-17 team is on my agenda. And why we pay the national under-17 team qualification bonuses. I do not understand that conversation. So that will be part of the game plan this evening. All coming to you live on pulse.com.gh sports, our Facebook page. We are also live on Twitter. We are everywhere. So for those of you like social media, just follow us. And comments, it's an interactive show. Send us your comments. We'll read them. If you have questions, ask them, and I will gladly respond to them as well. Okay, so let me begin the show this evening with Kumasi Asante Kotoko's visit to Accra. Now, Kumasi Asante Kotoko were coming into this game on the back of being winless in 7 games. 7 in regulation time. Now, I added the FA Cup to it because they did not win that game in regulation time. So they visited Accra on the back of 7 winless games in regulation time. Yeah, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, who sacked Zdravko Logarasic. Okay, so here they were, poised, Accra folk waiting, ever improving, and I must admit, what a game it was. One of the best Kumasi Asante Kotoko Accra folk clashes I have personally seen. What did you think about it? It was good, right? The intensity, the skill level, the swings. Kotoko has a focus score, Kotoko equalize, score, equalize, the late winner. Come on, it was fantastic to watch, and I enjoyed every bit of it. Patrick Razak, man of the match, and deservedly so, absolutely tormented Kumasi Asante Kotoko. What a star he is for Accra folk. But laudable mention must also go to Thomas Abbey. And I must mention Thomas Abbey because he's a young man who showed a great deal of potential when he joined Accra folk, but injuries hindered Thomas Abbey's progress. Now, since he recovered, he's beginning to show signs of being the player we all thought he could be. Skillful on the ball, dedicated, all-rounder. And Hearts of Folk are reaping the benefits of Thomas Abbey's fantastic form. So, congratulations to that one. And the goals were good. Check them out. Okay, so those were the goals, and I must say, but for the rains, the crowd certainly could have been bigger. But don't forget, this is not the end of it. No, there's a second leg coming up. So Kumasi Asante Kotoko will be looking at this like a positive result. They could say it's a positive result, even though their fans who look at it that way. No loss to Accra folk will be looked upon favorably. But if they score 1 goal in the second leg, hey, they've won. It's like the Champions League. They are done with it. But it brings back to the fore the problems surrounding Kumasi Asante Kotoko that won't seem to go away. And I've read comments on social media, on Facebook, from ardent Kotoko fans who ask the question, so why did we sack Zdravko Logarasic? Was he the problem? Was from the current streak, which has reached 8 now, after yesterday's loss, Zdravko Logarasic might not have been the problem. Some have said that management needs to take a look at itself, because management perhaps does not have an idea of what it wants to do with Kotoko. Yes, there's Dr. Kwame, but after him, who else? And I've heard Kotoko faithfuls also ask the question that perhaps Kwame is surrounded by lightweights. He needs heavyweights to run Kotoko. People whose, when they mention their name, others will shake. People who open doors. And they don't feel that there are enough of those people around Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And I've said it on the show before. I think that Kumasi Asante Kotoko fans need to be patient. And Kumasi Asante Kotoko fans need to understand that there is a process ongoing. that Kotoko of 2017 is not Kumasi Asante Kotoko of 1983, where you could boast of the entire national team in your starting lineup. So if fans come to understand these things, they perhaps might not put as much pressure on Frimpong Manso or Dr. Kwame Che to deliver a result every now and then. Now, to Accra Hearts of Oak, I must say, hey, Frank Nuttall might not be here, but there's still credit to what he's been able to build with this team. Very well organized. I mean, it takes a lot to bring the best out of Vincent Atenga. I watched Atenga at Dwarfs when they were in the Division 1, and I felt he was the best defender in the Division 1 then by a mile. He came to Accra Hearts of Oak and has struggled. But again, I think they have been patient with Atenga, and they are beginning to see his use. He's a very good dead ball specialist. He hasn't started taking corner free kicks yet. Just wait until he starts taking free kicks. You will see the quality of Vincent Atenga. It's been he's been a good influence. I think Inusa Musa has also come into his own at Accra Hearts of Oak. Very, very dominant. He's doing well. And I think also the addition of Anthony Nimo helped the club. So a few wise heads joined Accra Hearts of Oak and have delivered for Accra Hearts of Oak. And the culmination of that is that awesome victory that Accra Hearts of Oak gave to Kumasi Asante Kotoko yesterday. Now, to make things worse for Kotoko, now Kotoko fans, you're not going to like this. Everybody knows the renowned fetish priest Kwaku Bonsam likes to stick his nose in everybody's business, seems to have a hand in everything. Well, according to an interview he granted to Kasapa FM, Kwaku Bonsam says he has cursed Kotoko because Kotoko owe him. Now, apparently, according to him, he did Kotoko a favor a couple of years back by predicting a game. Now, after that game was over, instead of Kotoko fans and Kotoko coming to show gratitude, they repaid his gift to Kotoko with insults. And from that day, he cursed Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So according to him, until Kumasi Asante Kotoko come to, apologize to him, they are not going to win another game against Accra Hearts of Oak. What do I make of it? Could be drama. How many of you remember that Sulama game? You remember? Sulama came out, missed, Kotoko scored. All right, according to Kwaku Bonsam, he was responsible for that. Kumasi Asante Kotoko, instead of being grateful for that Sulama gaff, were not very grateful. Instead, they started insulting him. So according to him, he has punished them. The punishment being that they're not going to win a game against Accra Hearts of Oak until they come and see him. Do I believe it or not? Well, I don't know what to make of it. But when it comes to spiritual things and sports, all kinds of things apply. So if Kumasi Asante Kotoko, some of you feel you can go and seek Kwaku Bonsam on behalf of your club, do so. But I also think that some of you should also call your management and tell them, get a plan. Okay? Get a plan, stick with the plan, and sell the plan to the fans. The most important component. You see, because the fans will keep making demands if they do not understand what you're trying to do, which is the problem with Kotoko. And every time the fans get emotional and they get overly aggressive, management starts shaking. They start taking ad hoc decisions that do not help the club and its current planning. So they need to put everything in perspective. It's not the end of the world. But once again, I must admit, kudos to the organizers of the game. I was not really into, playing Kotoko and Hearts every now and then, but I must say that they delivered. Kotoko and Hearts on the pitch sold a fantastic game of football. Anybody who went to the stadium enjoyed themselves. Of course, it rained. Who cannot have fun in the rain? We all love having fun in the rain. But fantastic, fantastic game from Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak. All right, so we are still on the game plan. And I have a bit of a surprise. Pulse, we are running a small promo. Mother's Day is coming. And we call it Do It Like Mama. And everybody loves their mother. I love my mother very much. So basically what we are asking you to do is to post a video of you replicating something your mother would do. So it could be how your mother dresses. It could be how your mother cooks. It could be how your mother punishes you. It could be how your mother slaps you, how your mother knocks you. And we are going to give away several prizes from Onga. Now, Onga have decided to give us a lot of goodies to give away. So those of you who are watching, we have a promo running called Do It Like Mama for the Mother's Day. And I'll be giving away several of these things on the show as well. So for those of you who are watching, just go and film yourself or record yourself behaving like how your mother will behave, how she walks, how she dances in church, all those things. I can just recall how my mother dances in church. Charlie, it's not easy. She has a tablecloth, not a handkerchief, tablecloth. So just share that one with us, and you could be the winner of some fantastic prizes from Onga. You can share the videos via our Instagram, via our Facebook, via our Twitter, and we'll definitely get back to you. Okay, let's stick with the sports. And the next big issue to talk about, of course, was the racism incident that happened with Sulley Muntari. Sulley Muntari, standing ovation. Stunning. Look, if I were near the referee, I would slap him. I'm telling you. People are shouting monkey chants at a football player on the pitch. Instead of you telling the crowd to shut up or stopping the game, you, the referee, you are upset that the player has gone to tell the people to behave themselves. Now, according to the referee, he says that he told Sulley Muntari his job was not to keep the crowd calm or to stop the game. It wasn't Sulley Muntari's job also to go and talk to the fans. Go and sleep somewhere, Mr. Referee. And I am glad all the people who matter, including the UN Chief on Human Rights, has spoken in support of what Sulley Muntari did. Now, everybody remembers what happened with Kevin Prince Boateng a couple of years back when he walked off the pitch. Now, in the period since, FIFA formed an anti-racism committee that they disbanded last year. Gianni Infantino, what is wrong with you? Who told you racism had ended in world football? I don't understand why Gianni Infantino disbanded that particular committee, but since that time, we've had several other incidents. Now, it's crazy considering the fact that you declare football is racism free. And then, since you, Infantino and your friends, declared football racism free, we've had several incidents. There was an incident in Serbia where a Brazilian player just broke down on the pitch and wept. Samuel Eto'o has had issues. Look, all over the world there have been issues. Now we've come to our own Sulley Muntari. And the worst part about it is this. Listen to this. Referees have been empowered to stop games based on racist chants. Referees have been empowered to stop games based on racism chants. So for this referee who was refereeing Pescara versus Cagliari to walk up to Sulley Muntari, book him, and when Sulley Muntari says, why aren't you doing anything to stop the people from shouting? You, the referee, you tell Sulley Muntari it is not part of your job. That is not what you are there for. Come on, you failed in your task, Mr. Referee. Horrible. And Italian football needs to take a look at itself. And I don't blame Italian football. When the president of the Italian Football Federation can make disparaging remarks about black players in his own league and get away with it, can make disparaging remarks about black people, and European football keeps silent, world football keeps silent, that is what will happen in your league. And this situation is very, very prevalent in the Italian Serie A. That is why it is not growing. Look, all the leagues are improving because the leagues are taking action against these things, and they are taking decisive action. It hasn't been rooted out, no, but the incidents are coming down, except in Italy, where if you look at the numbers, the incidents are going up. Italian football needs to take a close look at itself. This is not what Italian football is noted for. Several black players have been responsible for some of the greatest Italian teams ever. AC Milan, team of the 80s and 90s. How many black players were in that squad? You can name them. Marcel Desailly was there. Was he not? Frank Rijkaard was there. Was he not black? Ruud Gullit was there. Was he not black? Lilian Thuram joined later on from Juventus. Was he not black? George Oponwia won World Footballer of the Year in 1995, playing for AC Milan in Italy. Several clubs have been the beneficiaries of black players bringing their talents to the Italian game. So if they show up and the Italian Football Federation is not willing to protect these talents from all over the world, it does not matter where you come from. So far as you're black, you're black. I'm not going to limit it to Africans. Black is black. Italian football needs to take a closer look at itself. Italian football needs to take proper action. For Sulley Muntari, I say keep it up. And for me, the best move he did was walking up to that little boy and giving him his shirt and saying that this is not a nice thing you are doing. Grow up to be somebody nice. Classy from Sulley Muntari. I say standing ovation. The next time it happens, do it again. If the referee does not agree, they should find that referee and sack that referee. Sulley Muntari, I applaud you. Okay, so enough of the applause for Sulley Muntari. You are watching The Game Plan live on pulse.com.gh. I have one more topic to discuss and then we'll be out of here. And it has to do with our under-17 national team. Now, you know, our under-17 team used to be our pride and joy. Not anymore these days. I don't remember the last time some of you, and I don't think a lot of you will recall our last under-17 team of the past 3 editions. Will you remember? No, you won't, because they didn't win. And that is the problem we have with our football. That is why we're not developing. As soon as we get a team that does not qualify, we discard it and move on. Sometimes we don't, but most of the time we do. All right, that is not the issue though. We've named our under 17 squad to go and participate at the AFCON. It's happening in Gabon, and that might get us to the World Cup to be played later in the year in India. Yeah, India is hosting a World Cup. And Kwaku Bonsam has named the provisional squad. I'll just run through it quickly, and then I'll tell you what my problem is. Okay, so coached by Kwaku Bonsam, the goalkeepers are Michael Akwe from Wafa, Dalat Ibrahim from Kotoko, Kwame Aziz from Mandela Soccer Academy. I see a lot of Mandela players in the squad. Very interesting. I have conspiracies running through my head. I know the owner of Mandela. Okay. Defenders: Bismarck Terry Owusu from Mandela, Kingsley Owusu from Dreams FC, Najib Yakubu from Newtown Youth, Nana Kwame Entry from Accra Young Wise. Oh, Party's team has some players in there. Rashid Alassan from Ediana Stars, Razak Yusuf from FC Tanga, Faisal Osman from Kumasi Young Vipers, Gideon Aqua, Accra United, John Otu from Dreams FC. Midfielders are Isaac Anta. I've seen this kid play. He's very good, from Accra Young Wise. Idris Mohammed from Cheetah FC. Simona Samoa Apia from Wa All Stars, of course. Gabriel Leve from Tema Youth. Sulley Ibrahim from New Life. Emmanuel Toku from Cheetah. Edmond Akumensa from Wa All Stars. Samuel Moni Andor from Zayn United. Strikers are Eric Eya from Charity Stars, another kid I've seen, very, very good. Mohamed Aminu from Wafa. Kwejo Poku from Atram Visa, that's Gordon Atram's team. Nathaniel Onyina from Sporting Club, and Patmos Ahin, also from Mandela Soccer Academy. Mandela must have the best youth team in Ghana at the moment. Lots of players in there. Okay, so these are the players. This is the provisional squad for the under 17 team that is going to Gabon to compete at the AFCON. Okay, this is my issue though. Late last week, there were reports that the under 17 team, they're supposed to leave for Gabon on Friday. There was trouble brewing because the players had not been paid qualification bonuses. Under 17. The players were upset that they had not been paid qualification bonuses. Now, they have been promised by the Ministry of Youth and Sports that they will be paid qualification bonuses. I don't even understand why they made these promises. Why do we pay? And this goes for not just the boys, but for the female team as well. Why are we paying 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, $1,500 to play football? Really? When did you get to this? This is the most developmental aspect of their career. Money is the last thing any 13-year-old, 14-year-old should be thinking about when you are handed a jersey that says Ghana. At that point, all you are thinking about is, how best can I play? How best do I improve myself? Who are my opponents? At that age, you are thinking, okay, if I get to Gabon, I will go and check the tourist attractions. You get your per diem or your allowances and you are good. But pay qualification bonuses, that requires some sort of engagement. That requires some sort of negotiation. Who is negotiating on their behalf? Why are we paying these small boys and small girls money to play football? Really? This is what we've turned our football into? And I can't wrap my head around it because perhaps I'm too westernized. You can accuse me of this one. I'll gladly hold on to this one. But I don't see this happening anywhere. Now, some of you might throw up the circumstances of these children argument. It is no excuse. The fact that they come from poor homes or the fact that they come from wherever does not mean that when you are 13 years old and the government comes to, and the national football team comes to call you, we have to pay you. It is not a business transaction. You are a young kid whose talent has been recognized by the state. Be happy about it. That is the utmost joy. As a 13-year-old, you can get in your life. As a 14-year-old, you can get in your life. If as a 14-year-old, you get invited to the national team, and the only thing you can think about is, how much are you going to pay me? Excuse me, it's a problem. You see, and that it is from here that we get our problems. Because they'll go to under 20, they'll ask for money. Under 23, they'll ask for money. Then they get to the Black Stars. And then we, the same public, Some of you, I'm sure, who are typing down there, what is Godfred talking about? It is a business. What patriotism? I'm not talking about patriotism here. I'm just saying simply that you do not pay 13-year-old. I'm not asking the kids to be patriotic, but ask yourself whether your average 13-year-old, 14-year-old at home is thinking about money when he's asked to play football. I mean, how? Look, there are several ways of keeping these kids motivated. If the only way we can keep these kids motivated is to pay them $1,500 qualification bonus, and after qualification, if you're eliminated, the country doesn't give a hoot about you, what happens? Look, what we can do as a responsible country is when these boys are called, and I'll give you an example. When Germany's under-17 girls showed up at the last World Cup, they came with their school teachers because the system understands that they are playing football, but when they go back, they will go and teach. We camp our girls and actually ask them to defer school. You are telling 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds to defer exams. How does that show that you are thinking about the future of that kid? Some of these kids, once you defer their exams, will never go back into the classroom. By doing that, you've cut short their opportunities. How many of them will make it as world-class footballers? The greatest gift we can give these under-17 girls or under-17 boys is to put proper structures in place. If the Ghana School of Excellence were working the way it's supposed to be, I'll be very upset if I see that some money has been allocated to them. They don't do anything. These talented kids, those who have education at the core, because some of these kids are students, some of them are in JSS and secondary school, Form 1 and Form 2. What would happen is we would create scholarships for them. So outside of the national team, once they go back to their school, their education is paid for. Their sports equipment is being taken care of. So they don't have to think about where their next pair of boots is coming from, where their next jersey is coming from. And all this so that they can focus on being academic footballers. And even those who don't have the head, because not everybody will make it in school. If the Ghana School of Excellence were around, just think about what I'm saying, they could still be sent there where the state looks after them because they just want to play football. Is that not it? So we pay for your feeding. We pay for your clothes. We pay for your equipment. We give you world-class training. We give you a football pitch to train on. What else do you need? We are giving you every possible tool to succeed as a world-class footballer. And you are non-academic. Nobody stays on a permanent scholarship. So for me, I think we need to rethink this whole business of paying under-17 players, boys and girls, to play football for Ghana. If you get called up, these kids who have been called up, look, stop negotiating money with these kids. If they go to Gabon and they win the tournament and they come, fine, we can decide to reward them. But we should not be negotiating that, okay, if you go past the first round, we'll pay you X amount of money. If you go to the quarterfinals, X amount of money. If you get to the semi, X amount of money. If you get to the finals, we'll pay you X amount of money. No! Don't do that. We need to scrap this effective immediately. And I can understand the background that we've come on because of age cheating. That's why we are here. Because we started building the under-17 team with men who were already playing in the league. So we needed to pay them. Now we are starting it with boys. They are not playing professional football, so you don't need to pay them. You need to give them the proper path to development so that they can be good for the 20s, 23s, and the Black Stars. That is what the state needs to do for these kids. The state does not need to enter into a business agreement with these 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds to play for Ghana. I'm sorry, I'm ranting, but this is very dear to my heart. Let me know what you think about this. My name is Godfred Akoto Boafo. It's been a pleasure coming your way on the game plan. I'll be back this week. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. And I promise you, for Kobina, wherever it is you are, I'm bringing you on the game plan, whether you like it or not. Ooh, what a player. Have a good evening.